back live and in color, Kinsman.
Live and in color. Studio 67.
Yes.
It's a jam-packed Thursday night. So we've got two great guests.
What's up with this TV screen here, Kinsman?
What happened to the Chromecast?
Where's our logo? You're supposed to have our logo.
The logo disappeared. Where'd it
You're supposed to have our logo on the screen.
The logo disappeared.
That's not very professional.
No, that's not.
We're gonna go get Ronnie. Can you go in the office and get my phone there, Thompson? Watch how Ronnie works. Ronnie's a very diligent worker. We're gonna see him live on the air.
By. There he is.
There he goes. Well, he has to do
good work, a big contributor to Special Olympics here in the city.
What would we do without Ronnie?
Well, we wouldn't. Ronnie's a big help here.
I thought this was like a painting. You went to.
Well, that's it. We wanted to, we wanted to spruce it up in the studio.
Thank you, kids. Thank you, Robbie.
In the studio.
Kinsman. Kinsman makes me call him master. That's why he's not very kind. That guy.
This is the first time.
Well, what's wrong with this picture? Look, the poor person watching this, and I painted this.
Well, Kinsman, I'm
going
to tell you.
We're going to cover it up with our logo.
What's wrong with it? It's not good for the lighting. There you go.
I know. There's Guy Foisey tuning in. Hey, everyone.
There we go.
Are we ready for the snow? No, we're not.
Okay. You want to talk about the weather? Okay.
Guy brought it up.
Okay.
It's Guy. He brought that.
So what's happening? Big snowstorm?
Well, that's what they say. Big snowstorm. Is it going to hit us? What do they say? Like 50, 60 centimeters? Are we ready to shovel?
Are you serious?
That's what they said.
60 centimeters?
That's what they said. Is it going to happen? Okay, here's my prediction on this. I'm gonna say maybe 10 centimeters, and it's gonna melt on its own. It's gonna be 7 degrees next week.
Listen, you know when they say there's a tornado warning? We never get no tornadoes here, Kinsman. And I feel this is
we had a tornado warning. Remember, it was
60 centimeters.
Remember, it was the Filipino Fiesta. There was a tornado warning during that. I'm in the middle of doing a live, and you can see in the live people say tornado warning, and I stayed focused through the whole thing.
Kinsman is slacking. They say, you see what I have to deal with here, Johnny? He is slacking.
Yeah,
he should have had his painting on the screen.
Well, that was my painting.
The logo.
You've covered it up.
Okay, so we got 60 centimeters. We're all gonna walk to school mentality.
That's right. Yeah, if school were on, it'd be a snow day.
What Google did Kinsman use? What Google did you use? Mark tells me everyone's talking about the weather. Are they? Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
I don't hear anyone talking about the weather, but
I was looking at a forecast today. It said maybe 20, 30 centimeters, but I don't even think that's going to happen.
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm going to say
32
5. I'm going to say 5 to 10 centimeters, maybe. If that.
When you
snowing now.
Okay,
so
let me ask you a question. When you did your other jobs, how often, when there was a significant weather impact on the community, how often would you have to talk about it? Lots, right?
All the time.
You had weather in your brain all the time.
I had weather in the brain.
Yeah. Well, this is why you love weather so much.
I love the weather.
Yeah. Not as much as Frankie McDonald, though.
No, Frankie McDonald, he'd be, you know what? That's a key right there. Maybe it's not going to be that bad because he hasn't seen, he's already seen it, saying it's not going to hit him.
Frankie joins us.
He would have had a video.
He'll be back on the 29th. Of March. Just chatted with Frankie today, and
did he tell you about the 50, 60 centimeters?
He did. He sent me a video. He sent me a video for Timmins. I don't know. I guess I should have posted it, right?
Well, I guess. I don't know. He's warning us.
Well, the last time I posted it, another media outlet took credit for it.
That's it. Media outlet took the video from Frankie that he sent us.
Yeah, that's fine.
And took credit.
Hey, Frankie's for everyone. Yeah. So we have Robbie G coming on shortly at 5 past the hour, which will be any minute.
That's right.
And then Jess Trudell.
Yeah, Jess Trudell is on from Community.ca, providing some great services for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're into writing, need some help, we're going to be chatting with Jess shortly.
I have a lot of questions for both guests. For Jess, I'm going to ask her this question because I read an article that says your writing tells your age.
It does.
So I'm going to ask her about this. I'm going to compare our writing styles and
me asking about the weather as that solidifies.
But this is particular to your writing style.
So this is writing style.
Yeah, because like our grandparents, at least my grandparents, I'm sure yours too, had beautiful handwriting. Right?
Yeah, my grandma still writes.
Right? Awesome handwriting.
And she still handwrites birthday cards.
That's
got one. My
awesome.
grandma, 96, still got a birthday card. And she hits the dates. We're bang on.
Even our generation and moving forward, terrible handwriting.
You're looking at me.
Well, mine. Yeah,
You're looking at the
white.
whiteboards that are in the studio. I've got terrible penmanship.
Mark, I'll give him age 75 and Jamie 70. Hey, we're trying to be hip and cool here, Janice.
Hip. It's hip to be square.
He's got on a hip hop sweatshirt. He's trying to be
well,
cool.
yeah.
70.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Do you think Robbie G will notice his sweater?
I would think so. Yeah.
You think he'll notice?
Do you notice when someone wears the KINZ and KLOMPs?
I do. And speaking of Janice, who was just commenting, we ran into Janice at the corner of our studio,
Mason,
Studio 67.
Abby. They're awesome.
Abby, Mason, Janice, the
awesome.
grandparents were there.
They're awesome people.
Having some fun. They were having some breakfast over at the Broadway or lunch.
Yeah, always so so nice and cheerful and happy. Like when we meet Abby and Mason, like they're just awesome kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Just amazing kids.
And Mason, no matter what the temperature was, he ripped his coat off and had to put his shirt on right there.
He's our best salesperson.
Yeah, he is. He has sold our shirts the best. So thanks, Mason. Thanks, Abby. Nice picture up on, if you follow Janice online, it's up on their page.
That's right.
I'll post it in the blast tomorrow, that picture.
Joanne's commenting now. Joanne, Mark wants to know if he gets VIP parking at your house next Tuesday. He wants valet. Is your husband going to come get his keys, park his car?
I'll park behind Norm.
Well, Norm may play hockey that night, so you can't jam him up there.
No, I'm going to have to park on the street.
Yeah, no valet parking. Someone's going to come, grab your keys, park your car.
I don't know if there's such thing as valet parking in Porcupine.
There's everything in Porcupine,
Mike.
We got the best of everything down there.
But we should mention, we're going to be at Joanne's place in Sopo next Tuesday because she was one of the donations that donated our Cat Bay dip, which I should say, if you watch the What's Up in the Community today, over $30,000 was raised for all the community charities, including ours, which our donations went to Annie Hunger Coalition tenants.
There you go. The amazing people. So thank you so much. Matthew says he plays hockey with Norm, and Joanne says no hockey on Tuesday nights. It's in the morning.
Tuesday night.
Oh, that's playing hockey in the morning. I think that's really awesome, actually.
I'm so glad I played.
Yeah, and there we go. Well, Ronnie says he's glad he plays at night. That's because he doesn't wake up till 2 p.m. So he could never play in the morning. Ronnie was supposed to be here this morning
about 9
a.m. to help him out with his
9 a.m. meeting. And
Ron's video bike. And I could see his Facebook active 4 hours ago at 9. So that means he was up at 5 a.m. Right? I could do the math. He no-showed his meeting.
You can't hide when the green lights were last on. Right? On social media.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're just waiting on Robbie G, and then we're gonna have Jess Trudell on.
He's Robbie G. If you're looking for tickets for his show, which we'll talk about when Robbie hops on May 19th, Club 147 he's going to be a part of.
Ronnie was at the square, so Ronnie was able to. Oh, the Rock were at the square.
Yeah,
Ronnie was able to
signing autographs today.
Ronnie was able to go see the Rock, but missed his meeting here.
Yeah, well, he is a big fan of The Rock, and we should say, talking about The Rock, they've got their final 2 games of the regular season this weekend, Friday night. Tomorrow night they play, I do believe it's Blind River.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, and where is? I do believe they play. I'm looking at the Sunday game. They're going to play Sault Ste. Marie, the Ontario Sioux.
You were looking for because we have whiteboards in front of us.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them.
You got 3 tonight.
Yeah. And normally I wear my specs when I'm squinting, but I don't have my specs here.
Right. So you're scrambling to find who else The Rock was.
Well, Blind River Friday night. So tomorrow night, 7:30 at the Mac.
There's Robbie G. Are you coming on?
Hey, Robbie.
I don't know.
Are you coming on the show?
Maybe he sent me a message here, kids. Maybe the link's not working. 708 at the pop. Okay, he's just coming home now. He says.
All right, Robbie G. Drive safe. We'll see you. We'll see you on the show in a few minutes.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, we can't wait to see Robbie G. He's a big fan of Timmins.
Yeah,
been here multiple times.
Well,
and again,
he's coming here on the 19th. We're going to chat a little bit about this when he's on.
It's a special day on the 19th. Yeah. Do you know what the special day is?
It's your birthday.
It's not my birthday.
No. Whose birthday is it?
Robbie G.
Robbie G's.
Celebrating the big, we don't know. We don't ask Robbie G how old he is.
I'll ask him how old he is. I don't know. He'll tell
We'll
us.
have to get some 705s over there.
Yeah, we'll have to get some
Club
705s.
147. He's a big fan of our beer over at Full Beard, so we'll make sure Robbie is fully hooked up.
Yeah.
But back to the Rock. Yes, 2 games, Friday, Saturday, and then on Friday, Sunday. And after the Sunday game, it's a 1 o'clock start. At a spaghetti fundraiser Sunday night at 5 at the Mac Ballroom.
So Robbie G is just about to pop on. We're going to give him a second to get his camera.
He's getting his devices all hooked up.
So Ronnie you don't have to hit any buttons yet there, Ronnie. We're going to get Robbie's camera all ready.
He's trying to figure it out right now.
Oh, yeah. We can see everything that's going on here in the background here, Kinsman. Now,
yeah.
It looks like he's got
might have a camera issue.
An OBS login right now. So we'll see him pop on the screen here.
Yeah.
It's the magic behind the scenes.
The magic behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's right.
And we'll just keep chatting around here right now before Robbie hops on. Getting tickets for that show, May 19th. Get them before they're gone. Eventbrite.ca, $25. Again, we'll talk about those tickets there. So he's having some issues there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to log. He may have to log in and log back out. He can possibly hear us right now, by the way.
Robbie, if you can hear us, log back out and then log back in again, and should write the camera issue.
Should write the camera issue.
I should fun of live.
I should say this.
What?
So now I'm into another birthday party for Aiden. It's not just with friends. It's now his actual birthday tomorrow. So I'm going to bring him to Wacky Wings. Now it's St. Patty's Day, right?
Green beer.
Yeah. That's going to be a pretty busy place tomorrow, right?
It is going to be pretty packed.
Yeah. So what time do you advise I get there for?
What for? Well, I'm going to say maybe I would get there maybe 4:30.
Early bird special?
Yeah, the early bird special.
The early bird special.
Gets the worm there. Robbie hopping in there. There he is.
I think he has
camera issues again.
He has to accept his probably accept camera permissions. Let's see, Ronnie. I'll message him as we go.
Usually, yes, I'll see on the corner camera permissions.
Yeah.
You keep chatting there, Kinsman,
right.
and I will fix it with.
But yeah, Eventbrite.ca, May 19th, Club 147. It's going to be Mad Child and Robbie G. Of course, a couple of hip-hop artists opening up locally. Sean Fortin's going to be one of the hip-hop singers. And Noah's again, also going to be opening up that night as well.
So do we
There he is.
There he is.
We have success. Let's bring in Robbie
All right,
G.
Ronnie, so put that on and change the overlay. There he is. There's
Robbie.
my good man right there.
Yeah.
Can
How
you
you
hear
doing,
us?
buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. Good to see you there.
Good to see you too. Sorry about that. I had to put on the camera setting properly or something. Anyway, we got it. We've
ironed it out. You're
He's
here. Everything's all good.
All right. First of all, Kinsman's fanboying out here.
I'm
Robbie.
fanning.
There it is.
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
There it is. My kid stole mine, by the way. I have to get another one in May. On May 19th. Is it your actual birthday, May 19th?
It is my actual birthday on May 19th.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is even more reason to get a ticket for the May 19th show. Of course, you're moving over to Club 147 this time. Great venue in Timmins. Tell us about the big night. Obviously we're gonna have cake there, right? What's happening that night?
I mean, I think there's probably going to need to be cake there if it's a birthday party and it just so happens to land on that date. So yeah, it's going to be a wicked show. I'm stoked. We're at the club this time. Big shout outs to Top Shelf, of course, for always holding me down every time I come through Timmins. This one, I think we're going to have a few more people there. Last time we had Mad Child in Timmins, it was pretty good time. And that was as well.
Party.
Yeah, at that spot. So yeah, I mean, good vibes all around. I'm excited to hit the road. We start the tour next week on Wednesday in Calgary. So yeah, I'm excited to do it. Somebody's asking where can we get tickets ahead of time. Best place is on Eventbrite, eventbrite.ca. You can just search Timmins Robbie G or Timmins Mad Child, and that should pop up. And maybe we'll add a link into the comments. Actually, I could probably do that. I can
Actually,
do
if you follow Sean Fortin, who's opening up for you that night,
He's got the link.
he posted a link on his Facebook page,
But we'll
and
add
you can
the
buy
link too.
tickets
Yeah.
through Sean.
And we'll add the link, and I think Robbie's going to add the link. But get this, Kinsman. Is this a 65-date tour?
Yeah.
Is
65
Robbie's,
days.
you have to be the hardest working entertainer in Canada, period.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of tour dates. It's a lot.
Right?
There's not many that are doing it like that. But yeah, we had to do it. I'm excited to go and visit, all the places in Canada and try and hit literally every place that I've never been to before in this country. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to Newfoundland for my first time. Super excited for that. Never been all the way out there as far as on the East Coast as that. And yeah, I mean, we're literally covering every little nook and cranny. So sometimes I'll announce a tour and there'll be people commenting and being like, why don't you come to my city? Or why not this city? Or why not that city? This is the one tour that it gets posted where it's like, we're going everywhere.
Everywhere.
You can't say, hey, you didn't come here. The only places that didn't get hit were like Yellowknife and Whitehorse, which we might end up doing.
That's it. Iqaluit, it's kind of remote places, kind of hard to get the tour bus up there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get up there in the future.
Oh, I got a lot of, like, Robbie, since the last time we chatted with him, Kinsman, it's been unbelievable. I got a million questions. I can't ask them all, but this is one I want to know. When you work with Ice Cube, tell me how it works behind the scenes. Do you get some time to have a conversation with him? I mean, like, Ice Cube is the icon of all
the icon of hip hop.
He's done everything from the mogul of gangster rap to being the front face of Disney. Like, the guy is truly 360.
He's phenomenal.
Do you get some time to sit down with him and have a conversation, or is it just sound check and write the business?
He doesn't even show up for sound check, to be honest.
Okay.
Like artists of his caliber, a lot of the times they just send somebody else to do their sound check for them. You know what I mean? Usually their hype man or whoever's rocking with them. So Dub C was there for the sound check, so I got a chance to chop it up with him a little bit and chat. But yeah, I mean, sometimes when those big acts show up for their show, they literally show up, get on stage, do their performance, and then they're out. Like literally out. So I said a few things to him before he left, got a quick pic with him and whatnot. And, just said my respects to a legend, just let him know how much,
no kidding.
How much he's influenced me. But yeah, I mean, I wish there was more time. And even for myself, when I'm on the road, a lot of times like fans hit me up and be like, oh, I wish I had more time to spend with you when you were in the city. It's like, it's so quick. It's like you're in, you try and do your show. If you have a chance to do a meet and greet, that's the best chance to get a, connection with other people. But if there's not that, like Ice Cube didn't even do a meet and greet. And a lot of like artists at that level, I find they're kind of like over it at that point. They're just like, I don't want to meet anybody. They've had enough people.
They've met everybody already.
And all the
get in, get out, get their paycheck, and off to the next one.
Exactly. They're in there to do their job and keep it very professional. And I mean, he is a professional. He rocked it. He crushed the shows. Probably one of the best live performers that we've ever booked and worked with. And I mean, just an inspiration. And I love, a big part of doing these shows for me is literally being an audience member and seeing and watching how these performers captivate the crowds and what they're doing on stage, and picking up on those small nuances to, put into my repertoire and into my toolkit.
One of the things, I love about Robbie G's like the rest of us. We have highlights and we have lowlights. And I think there was a little bit of a period where you took maybe a little bit time off, or you just, you released a little bit less on social media that you normally do. And things happen in life, highs and lows. The thing I love about you is that you're never on social media complaining. I never got this. I never got that. You always rebound with something amazing. And I find positive. That's a drawback of people just starting, where they say, no one's giving me this opportunity, or why did this happen to me? I never find like you do that. You always push the message into your lyrics, or push a positive spin on that. Is this something like you grew into, or this has been your persona all your life?
I think it's probably how I was raised, and also just from reading books, self-help books and stuff. Like, I'm never a victim. I hate the victim mentality. It
Mhm.
irks me when people try to find scapegoats for their own inadequacies. You know what I mean? Where you're trying to blame other people for your own shortcomings. Like, everybody's got 24 hours in a day,
Yeah.
and everybody has the choice of what they want to do with that time,
Yeah.
whether you have prior obligations, responsibilities, family commitments, work, job, anything. We all have that 24 hours in a day, every human being, and it's up to us what we do with that time. It's never up to anybody else. And yes, there's going to be people who screw you over in life. There's going to be people who try to take advantage of you. There's going to be people who bulldoze you right over, and you have to just pick yourself back up and just keep on doing you, and not really worry about, all the other people that are doing their things, because everybody's out to get something for themselves at the end of the day. And like, I really feel like if you just put blame on other people for things not happening well in your life, even if it's like parents, like we blame our parents a lot of the time for like not raising us right, or doing this, or treating us a certain way when we were children. We need to let that shit go. You got to forgive all the people who've done anything wrong to you in the past, because it's doing absolutely nothing to serve you. It literally is a weight, a big ball of weight that's chained to you and holding you back from achieving your dreams and your truest potential. So I let all that stuff go. I try to really live a no victim lifestyle, and really preach that in my music, and to people that I meet and interact with. Is like, it's never somebody else's fault. And as soon as people start talking about that, they'll be like, oh, well, the reason that I'm not here is because of this. I'll stop them right mid-sentence and be like, wait a second. I'll be like, really examine what you just said there. You know what I mean? Whose fault really is it at the end of the day? The situation that was caused is generally caused by you and your own thoughts.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We create our own realities. As much as we want to like try and push that aside, like, we literally through our thoughts create a reality. So if you're complaining about something that's happening in your life,
And
you
fix it.
fucking made it. You made it, bro. You made
Yeah.
it. So just
Yeah.
find a way to
They say you made the bed, you sleep in it. Now you got to fix it and move on,
Yeah.
and pull up their shorts and
yeah.
you know
And we can
put
always
the blinders
complain.
on and keep going forward.
That's the other thing, is we can always complain. There's always something we could find to complain about. Every single day there is something that you can look outside and be like, oh, well, today it's like 5 degrees. I could be like, oh, well, it's not summertime yet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy that it's 5 degrees and it's not -20 right now. I'm trying to
Yeah.
look at it from a perspective that enhances my
Yeah.
experience. Not brings me
Always trying to
down.
draw positive. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, people have to realize who want a career similar to Robbie's, he's about to go on a 65 tour dates. That's not
Tour dates.
65 dates. That's like days in a row. That's 65 tour dates. That's months away from home, months away from your family, months away from recording in studios. That's a significant chunk of time.
Well, chunk of time.
It's a lot of effort, not physically,
All the
and
time in
mentally.
between those
that-
65 dates, getting from stop one to stop two. Because I'm guessing, Robbie, you're still driving yourself to these dates. You're not flying yet, are you?
There's a few that we have to fly in. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've got the island, like going out to Newfoundland. You got to fly out there. We've got a couple of dates in the northern Cree communities, up northern Quebec, so we'll fly into those. And I have to do a couple other gigs throughout the tour, so I've got to fly in and out for a couple of those gigs. So yeah, there's a few flights, but I mean, I prefer to be on the ground. I prefer to be driving in between the shows. One, you get a chance to see a little bit more, and two, like the way that we travel with all our merchandise and everything, it's impossible to be kind of flying in between cities and carting around the kind of merchandise that we do. So yeah, which, speaking of that, if you're coming to the shows, grab some merchandise, cop the sweater, get yourself two.
Well,
Yeah, right here.
I got to load up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a load up again. And here's an example of the hard work. So, Robbie's been performing for years. Albums, I don't know how big your catalog is, but it's 100, 150 songs, probably more, right? Yesterday was his first time being interviewed on a top 40 radio station. all those years.
And all these
This
years.
is how much hard work it takes to get for
It
a
takes
bit
to
of
have it
success. So
to start getting
yes,
to pay off.
if a lot of people are envious, and Robbie, he's living his dream, but what you don't see is the back end, bottom of the iceberg, the 99% of the time busting your ass, and just finally now getting some mainstream recognition. We love him here in Timmins, and they love him every city he goes to, but that has to feel good. But that came with like years of building and promotion and earning it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, big time, and letdowns too. Like I'll speak on this. I was about to have my first Top 40 interview a week prior because 91.5 The Beat in Kitchener invited to bring me in to the station to do an interview. And this is when I dipped out to Mexico quick for a little R&R before the next tour cycle started, and my flight got canceled or delayed a day, and because of that I missed my interview in Kitchener, and I was just heartbroken. I was like
Right, yeah.
defeated. I was just like, oh my, like the one thing I was dreaming about, this a magical moment, being on a Top 40 station, getting interviewed, like that's a big deal for me as an independent artist. It got taken away from me, and literally the next week when I got home, I was like, I know that there's a possibility to make this happen in another sense, and I reached out to the radio station here, and just so luckily, just through the hard work, through the dedication, through having my name pop up here and there. And I did pop up there to do a freestyle late at night one time and drop them off some swag bags, some clothes and stuff. And they've been supporting me and repping me. But like, I just made that connection, and they said, yeah, we'd love to have you on. They brought me on, did a live on-air interview on a Top 40 station, which rarely ever happens, pretty much never happens with an independent artist. So yeah, I mean, big thanks to Virgin Radio and to BMAC and Carly for having me, and just every radio station that's been supporting me, college, university stations, internet stations, everything like that. That's it all helps. But yeah, that was a big moment for me. But like you guys said, it's like the back end of things that people never see is like that massive letdown that I had a week before that like almost crushed me. I was like almost about to cry. I was like, this sucks.
Right,
Like
yeah.
literally missing out on this massive opportunity
Oh, yeah.
because my
Yeah.
flight's delayed. Like this sucks. But the universe works out the way that it's supposed to, and I'm sure I will eventually do an interview on their station when the time is right. But yeah, this
Yeah.
it's been a long grind before eventually getting on to a radio station and getting some recognition from the more mainstream publications.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing that you do, and I know you do it here in other cities, is the fact that you're here with Mad Child on the 19th of May, Robbie G's birthday, but you always bring in some local talent
Yeah,
to give them
local
an
acts.
opportunity to shine and showcase their skill sets. And you're doing it again. And I assume that's pretty important because more than likely, that's how you got your start on stage.
Big time, and that's a big part of why I still do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Is like I was an artist trying to get on shows and trying to get my foot in the door in the industry, and a lot of people slammed the door in my face, and they said, sorry, we don't want to have a local artist on this show. That was a big thing in a lot of places. They just didn't want to have the local artist. So I said, I'm no, you know what I mean? Like I can just do this myself. And I did. And then I opened the door for a bunch of other people to be able to experience that opportunity and have a chance to, be around, grow from, learn from, experience the people that they grew up listening to, and get that same feeling that I get every time I get a chance to do a show with, someone that I grew up listening to and somebody that inspires me, which is why it's so crazy. This Mad Child tour coming up, like this is somebody that I grew up listening to, listening to Swollen Members, listening to his solo stuff and seeing his career blossom and grow. And just, everything that he's done since then, he's still crushing it. It's massive to be able to go out now and tour with somebody like that literally has influenced who I am as an artist and a person.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And this time they're at Club 147.
Yeah, Club 147.
And Robbie will never say this because he's very humble, but I'm going to say this. We can do better, Timmins, this time. I get it. We're coming out of the pandemic last time, but this is a big entertainment show.
We need to pack Club 147.
And if you it's an easy sell to hip hop lovers. But even if you just love entertainment, trust me, the dynamic and the energy, these performers bring the stage, tied in with some local talent. This is going to be an awesome night, and I encourage you to go out and support it because
$25.
we want to continue. Oh yeah, it's a great value too.
$25 a ticket, eventbrite.ca. And again, Noah Sagan and Sean 410. Follow Sean on his Facebook page. He just posted a post today. He's got tickets.
Yeah.
And get them, and you're going to be in for a treat.
Oh yeah,
and again, if
support
you're
these artists,
you know, as you know, Robbie was saying, Mad Child, part of Swollen Members. Type in Swollen Member, you're going to know who Mad Child is.
Wow.
Right,
all the cool kids know.
Well, all the cool
except
kids
for you
know.
Kids. I mean, come on now.
No.
If Mark can get out and dance to hip hop, anyone can get out and
Anybody
dance to
can get
hip
out
hop.
and dance to hip hop.
Right?
And again, support when you do these shows, when you go to Club 147, pick up the merch from all the bands and
all the artists. Yeah. Well, it's hard work.
It is hard work.
Yeah, let's support them for we can continue having these shows in our community. A show like this, they skip smaller towns. You might see them in Thunder Bay, you may see them in Sudbury. We're fortunate enough to have it in our community, so let's go and support them. Let's do an amazing job.
65 dates.
And see some of the talent that's right here in Timmins. They're good.
They're awesome.
We've seen them here.
Noah's crushed it twice for Robbie G. This is going to be his third time, and I think Noah's going to crush it again. Yeah. Sean's amazing. Good night. Yeah. Get those tickets, $25. Inexpensive fun.
Yeah.
The $25 is inexpensive fun on a on a good old.
You have a girlfriend now, so it's going to cost you $50. Kids,
well, $50.
Yeah.
And bring extra money. She's going to want a Robbie G shirt.
Well, bring extra money to a bar. Well, who do you have to tell that to? But the final question I have for you, Robbie, is okay. So you mentioned the Mexico trip. Is this one of these things you have this period of relaxation before you go on this whirlwind?
Rarely, to be honest. I rarely ever do vacations. That was the first one that I've taken in a long time, and I haven't really left the country since before the pandemic. So, yeah, I mean, after the pandemic, once flights started up again, tourist season schedule started up again for me, and I just went crazy on the road here in Canada. So I really don't get a chance to stop and slow down because it's just go constantly for me. But it was nice to stop, to rest, to recharge, to relax. And it's an important part of my journey to incorporate spiritual practices into my life and into what I'm doing. And I had the opportunity to do some really cool integration with the ancestral ceremonies that they have in the Mayan culture there in Mexico. So that was super powerful for me to do and just connect me with my higher purpose and why I'm here and what this is all for. So, at the end of the day, I can work my butt off and do all this work. But if there's no real end goal, if there's no real purpose for it, what is it all for? You know what I mean? We're just literally working to die, living to die. And I want to make sure that I'm living to serve and to inspire and empower. And yeah, it's a really good chance for me to reconnect with that and just zone back in on what this is all for. Because my motivation is really magic. It's teaching people how to use their magic and their powers. And hopefully I'm able to do that in Timmins at the next show. Amp some people up. I'm seeing some comments
and
here.
It's your birthday.
Yes, Robbie G's birthday. There's an extra incentive to buy a ticket and help wish Robbie the big night.
Yeah, Robbie,
in person.
Mad Child,
Club 147 is going to be a rocking time.
And
a hip-hopping good time.
And let's fill it. Let's fill it for these artists, and we'll
let's show them a Timmins.
We got to give them a good welcome in our community.
And out of the 65 dates, they're going to remember Timmins and say, "Wow, Timmins can pack the joint," and that's what they want to hear. And then they'll keep coming back.
Yep. I got to buy another hoodie when I'm there. I told my son, I said, you took my Robbie G hoodie. And then he told me, well, why did you have Robbie G's hoodie? Give it back to him. I'm like, it's merch. You
yeah.
He said, well, the guy's not going to be happy if you took his hoodie. No, these kids always play.
And there's Sean right there. Message him for tickets. Yeah. There you go.
Hit up Sean. Hit up homie.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there. We'll be front row.
Front row, front and center there, Robbie. We'll make sure you've got some 705s chilling in the fridge for you.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Get that. Shout out Full
Yeah.
Beard. And yeah, shout out to the people here. Melissa, I know you commented, you said you were at the last Mad Child show. So thank you for coming through to that. Hope to see you again. Jenica, Stephanie, Matt, Joanne in here. Thank you all for listening. And yeah, hope to see some of you at the show coming up. It's going to be a good one.
There he is.
All right.
There's the man right
The
there.
legendary Robbie G. There he is in the flesh.
Hey, if you're looking to be a performer and you're looking for work ethic, then follow Robbie.
Follow Robbie
Trust
G.
me, man. This is guy and never plays the victim. I give that advice to people all the time.
You know, when it came to getting this hoodie, I remember that night, there's no merch guy that follows Robbie G. Robbie G, I said I needed a certain size. And he didn't say, no, we didn't have to say. You walked down to your truck outside. I followed you outside. And, he's physically going through the back and found me my hoodie.
Hope you gave him a good tip.
I gave you a good tip there, Robbie.
Don't be so cheap.
That's right. That's right. Sometimes you got to do it on your own. Luckily, on this next tour, I've got a couple of guys that are going to be giving me a hand. But every now and then, yeah, I don't mind slanging my own stuff and doing the hustle. That's how it all started.
I'll buy another one.
Yeah, well, that's great. And they also have meet and greet packages, by the way, through Eventbrite. So if you want an opportunity to meet the artist, photo op, check out those packages. It gets up and close. These guys are, they're touring a lot of cities, but they're not just performing, leaving the stage and leaving. You're going to have an opportunity to chat with them. So look at those. It's a great, you can buy me one of those tickets, Kinsman.
I'll buy you one of those tickets
for my
$25. We'll contact Sean for 10 after.
There we go. Well, we'll see you in May. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. And good luck.
Good luck on the tour when you kickstart it. And have some fun. And we'll see you here on the 19th. And wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you so much. I'm super pumped for it. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you. Much love. Thanks for all the listeners. And I will be there May 19th.
There he is.
Going down.
The man right there.
He is.
All right. Thanks, Robbie.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, then, Ronnie. Yeah, there we go. All right, so Ronnie's going to remove that overlay.
Yeah,
and we're going to see.
Thank our sponsors.
Yeah, you move the Robbie G overlay there, Ronnie. There he goes. All right, so we're going to thank our sponsors. Get right into Jess. We're running a few minutes behind.
Yeah,
she's waiting
Jess
for us.
Trudell coming in next. WritingCommunity.ca. If you need any writing help, Jess is here, and we're going to go through all the services that she offers.
Right down to
for
the
businesses, and if you're just looking to, you've hit a writing block.
There we go.
She'll help us out here.
We'll be right back.
All right.
And New Burger Planet Inc. Have you tried the new Bison Burger? Maybe put this on the menu this week. Quarter pounder with onion tanglers and cheddar cheese. Grab a Bison Burger today. The regular for $9 or the combo for $12.50. You can drive by and get yours today. 1026 Riverside Drive in Timmins. In DAP Cleaning Solutions, residential commercial cleaning excellence guaranteed. Cleaning service, carpet cleaner, janitorial service, stripping, waxing floors, windows, any job that you need cleaned or sanitized. Call Andrew and today to book now for your carpet cleaning and strip and wax jobs for your commercial unit. 705-465-3500. Call today for your free quote. And the 2023 Northeast Regional Ringette Championships are coming to Timmins the weekend of March 31st through April 2nd. Follow us for all the coverage. You can find the details at timmonsringette.com. And WritingCommunity.ca, your writing at its best. Jess Trudell, founder of WritingCommunity.ca, has experience with everything from full-length fiction manuscripts to business writing. Call Jess today, 705-262-3268. You can even email her, info@writingcommunity.ca. And get started today for only $39 down and only $15 a month. And you can cancel at any time at Planet Fitness. Join Planet Fitness today at Timmins Square, 705-242-7360. Download the free Planet Fitness app and join today. And Creative Boutique and Supplies, check out Mona Gautier's Spring Collection. You can find them on Facebook and place your order today, 705-372-8190. You can even email her creativeboutiqueandsupplies@gmail.com. And Dare Timmins, something to do over March break. Coming up on the 16th, you can join them for a free swim at the Sportsplex from 1:15 to 2:45. Bring your trunks. And the Cooperators Timmins jump into their better now than later plan. Turn your investing goals into your realities. Call today, Sebastian Vermette, 239 Wilson Avenue, Timmins. You can drop in for a consultation or call 705-264-4395. You can even sock some money away for a TFSA, an RRSP, or a mutual fund. And free estimates at V&M Renovations. Maybe some mini excavating that needs to be done, or maybe a bathroom or a bedroom reno. Call V&M Renovations, Max and Justin, for a free estimate, 705-372-3832. And the Business Improvement Association, the Downtown Timmins BIA. Check them out online at downtowntimmins.com. You can also check out their new location in downtown, 85 Pine Street South, Suite 108. And you can call 705-264-8733. And some March break fun at Midtown Bowl. They're open all this week for Rockin' Bowl, 12 to 4. First come, first serve. You can check out their new game cards and come play their new arcades. And Jackpot City Gaming, open 9 a.m. to 2, progressive jackpots, bingo, Vegas-style games, and they're now fully licensed at 251 First Avenue. And Core Business Solutions, your Apple authorized service provider in the north, 264 3rd Avenue, Suite 201, Timmins. Call today, 705-531-3355. And Claim Post Realty Limited Brokerage, Albert Seal will seal your deal. Check out Albert's latest listings online at albertseal.com. And you can also call to book an appointment, 705-465-3493, to have Albert seal your deal. And Imagine Cinemas are getting set for Champions, starring Woody Harrelson this week. You can also check out Mummies, and how about Scream 6? Tickets and showtimes online at imagincinemas.com. And the Timmins Youth Wellness Hub's located at 45 Spruce Street South, Unit 102, Timmins. Call today, 705-268-0400. And Qatar, Eska, and Vincent C. Couple of big events coming to the city, courtesy of Laronde Timmins. Find out all the ticket information you need for the March 30th and March 31st shows online at larondetimmins.ca.
You're in big trouble
We're-
now,
we're- we're
Kinsman,
ba- yeah,
because
we're in big
talking-
trouble.
You're talking, no, you, no.
Well,
who's
yeah,
us?
okay, I'm throwing you
Grammar.
under the bus for this too.
Why?
She's here in the flesh,
Yeah.
in the studio, Jess Trudell from writing Community.ca to give me apostrophe a wrist slap
Yes.
for the apostrophe I put on that banner. The banner that you see there where it says writing
Yeah.
at its best. I put the apostrophe in the wrong spot, didn't I, Jess?
The apostrophe shouldn't be there at all, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I'm not offended.
Yeah.
It's a very common mistake. A lot of people make
You,
it.
you
Common
find out how many
mistake,
people actually
Kinsman.
see those banners when
Yeah.
something does go wrong. So thanks for bringing
Yeah. You,
bringing it to my
he's
attention.
been talking about this for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This
Well, every time I
I've
see-
had
every
enough
time
of
I
this
see Jess.
apostrophe. Okay,
Apostrophe.
Did you get it? out of your
Is it a
system?
catastrophe or an apostrophe?
Oh, see, you got anything for when someone says a lot of cliches, a couple different words
Nah.
they could use? Maybe you can fix Kinsman tonight. So tell us, well, let's start with this. Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about writing Community.ca.
.ca.
Well, it's a little bit complicated because when I first started doing writing for like local businesses and stuff, it was 10 years ago, almost to the day, 2013, and it was under a different business name. It was Cursor Communications back then, and then I had a baby, so Cursor Communications kind of fell by the wayside. And I do my own writing as well. Like I like to work on novels and things like that. And I discovered during that time that I was off, I was working on some of my own projects, that I wasn't eligible for arts funding as a business. So Cursor Communications, everything I'd written under the Cursor Communications name didn't make me a professional writer by arts funding standpoint. So I was like, well, that's dumb. I
Yeah.
wrote all of that stuff. I got
Yeah.
paid to write all of that
Right?
stuff. That makes me a professional writer, but it didn't count. So I let Cursor Communications fall by the wayside, and I just started writing under my own name, Jessica Trudell again. I still did business services, but also my personal stuff just under one banner. But in the meantime, I was doing a lot of things in the community. So like I run a local writers group. Every Monday night we meet with the writers group, and I also run an annual event called the Northern Ontario Book Fair, which I'm currently working on rebranding, but for now we'll call it that.
Okay.
And when we were doing that, we started kind of a writers guild for Northern Ontario. So that's where writing Community.ca came from, is when the pandemic hit, all of these chapters of the Writers Guild couldn't meet in person anymore.
Okay.
And that whole guild structure kind of like fell apart and had to pivot. So we made Writing Community.ca as our digital version of the Writers Guild. But then, you know, you always have to pivot when you're a business person, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
now,
the truth.
Writing Community.ca, I use it as my website to
Mhm.
advertise my services, but it's also the house for the Northern Ontario Book Fair, and it was for a long time where we promoted the various groups that were meeting all over Northern Ontario. So yeah, Writing Community.ca is a catch-all
Okay,
for
there
a
it is.
lot
I
of
love it.
things.
lot of good
Yeah.
services.
Which I think is confusing from a branding standpoint. So I'm currently working on a rebrand of that website, but
But for now,
long story short,
writingcommunity.ca.
it's a catch-all for a lot of things, which is why I know you guys were confused a little bit trying to prepare for this, because there's so many different things on the website. So not your fault.
We're always
I'm
confused,
aware.
so
Yeah,
don't
we're
worry.
confused every single
That's right.
day.
You're about to ask Jess a hip hop question.
But
This is how
that's
confused
right.
you are, right?
Yeah, so you're about to embark on a 65-day
Yeah.
tour.
But I think that's awesome. And one of the things, you know, I've started to realize, and you probably already knew this, but we have so many talented writers in
There's
this
a lot.
community.
Absolutely.
It's and I love art, or whatever, you know, it's something like we're doing, or if it's music, or if it's writing, anything creative. I just love people who are chasing their passions.
Actually, I overheard you guys when you were talking to Robbie G, or maybe it was during the intro while you were waiting for him to come on. You
Okay.
mentioned the tornado warning
Yeah.
last year
Right.
during the Filipino Festival. The Northern Ontario Book Fair was actually happening at the same time
the same
around
time.
the corner.
Oh,
And we got rained out, just torrential downpour.
But no
and then
tornado,
tornado
though.
warning,
Yeah,
so
no,
like
no
nobody
tornadoes.
no.
It was just a
If
bit
it's-
breezy.
Oh.
See your
Yeah.
tornado warnings you used to give over the airs?
Well,
you ruined all these goofy.
you ruin all these festivals.
That's
Let's
right.
say Festa
There-
Italiana still. Well,
There were a
Festa,
dozen authors
Filipino.
in the old
Festa.
bucket
Yeah,
Betsies
can you
Kept
imagine all the
going.
pages
Downtown.
flying in the air,
Yeah, right?
Kinsman? I just lost chapter 3. It flew over to Thunder Bay.
Your best writing ever.
Yeah, my
It
best
blows
thought
away in a
ever.
tornado.
It goes away.
Can't
All
say
right.
the dog ate it.
Okay, I have a quick one. Enough with your jokes there. I'm a funny guy around you. That was pretty good, though. I do like that. So, are you noticing a higher volume of participation in the groups that you're running, based on the fact that I find that more people use COVID to get creative?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is when COVID hit, I kind of had to pivot, because I was focusing a lot on business services.
Mhm.
But then all these businesses had to close their doors indefinitely. They weren't making money, so they weren't spending money on things like
On any
editors,
of the services.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of pivot more towards the personal services side. So people that are, you know, writing books that they plan on self-publishing, or that they want to traditionally publish, but they want somebody to look it over first. So yeah, I kind of had to pivot to that. And yeah, a lot of people did start pursuing those goals. I can't remember what there was a study a long time ago that looked at how many people wanted to write a book one day, like how many people had it on their bucket list that one day they were going to write a book. And it was a ridiculously high percentage of people
And you're helping them
that
all.
planned on writing a book one day, but the vast majority of those people never do it.
Right.
One, they never get around to it. But the pandemic came and all these people had all this time. And so many more people started working on those projects that they've been putting off forever, whether it was learning an instrument or writing a book. So yeah, there's definitely been an increase of people kind of pursuing those goals. And that's been amazing, meeting a lot of new people that way.
Oh.
And we were talking about, you know, how the generations have changed in terms of writing. And I guess things have got a little bit easier with technology. I don't know better, but definitely easier. Are you finding people starting to come back to old traditions, handwriting, storytelling? Are those things starting to circle back, or maybe they were never lost?
Yeah, I don't think they were ever really lost. Like people have there are systems that they use for writing. Like some people still swear by handwriting
Yep.
everything that they write
Mhm.
first and then transcribing it later. But technology makes it a lot easier, obviously. Like now you can still handwrite your story, your novel, whatever you want. But then instead of transcribing it by typing, you can speak it into your computer and it'll type it for you.
Right.
Right. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
So things have
technology just
the
makes
innovations
those
so much
systems
better.
easier. But a lot of people still will absolutely handwrite their projects.
So if I understand this correctly, if I'm a business that helps help with any type of, maybe it's writing a procedure or a business plan, a mission statement, something along
proposal.
those lines, either I don't have the time or maybe I've never done it before, they can contact you, and these are one of the multiple services that you provide.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I've written a lot of business plans, some marketing plans, grant writing, proposal writing. So if someone's trying to access funding,
Mhm.
whether to start a business, expand a nonprofit organization that's trying to get funding, I've done a lot of that. My bread and butter for a while was actually resume writing for people
Okay.
that didn't have a job. They would pay me money to make a really awesome resume. I still run into these people all over town at their jobs.
Oh, they got jobs. That's
Yeah,
what-
All thanks to your resume.
I'll go to the
There you go.
grocery store,
Yeah.
and it'll be like, "Hey, how you doing? You're
You
still
wouldn't
in
want
there?
to
It's
see them
awesome, right?"
unemployed. That
I'm
would
still
be
here.
good for the business. But
No.
so they have jobs. Perfect.
Yeah,
That's
I haven't
awesome.
had any complaints.
So proof that it works right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
Amazing.
realize, and you just talk about the grant applications or funding applications. There's many opportunities for all types of sectors, but sometimes the application process is lengthy, and sometimes it's difficult to boast about yourself.
Mhm.
Or,
Absolutely.
or talk about your accomplishments, and sometimes you lose the day-to-day things. That's why you can use Jess's services to help you sort of put the thoughts in your head on the paper in a formal proposal that will heighten your success of receiving the grant, receiving the funding.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just too close to it. You don't even have to be a business. You could, even if you're just somebody who's writing a novel, if you're too close to it, like if you're too close to yourself as a business and that's what you're trying to promote, or you're too close to a book that you've written that you feel like is the work of your heart, right? If you're too close to it, it's so hard to see the shortcomings, right? So that's why you need somebody to kind of intervene and be that impartial person that's like, hey, so this is good, but what is missing is this.
You need the
right?
constructive criticism.
Yes, always
Yeah.
constructive
Always someone looking over
criticism.
the
You don't need
shoulder
somebody that's
just
going
in
to tear
case,
it
right?
apart
Well,
and tear you down.
You're right. So
No.
when we built our business plan over a year ago, it was quite the learning curve for us. We should have called Jessica, by the way.
You know what?
So
we should
our first pass at it,
You would have had the studio 2 years ago.
we would have had it 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Think
2
it's
years
been-
ago.
We would have been now 2 years in debt.
grants coming out of our
So
where
one
we
year.
wipe at our noses
Yeah,
with
that's
$100
right.
bills.
We'd be able to pay Ronnie
Yeah,
$2 an hour.
Yeah,
by
$2.
Now he's only getting a buck.
150 right.
But it was like, so we did our first pass, and it's all Mark and like me and Mark, our thoughts. But I had my partner who's good at format the document. So when we sent it over to the Business Enterprise Center, said, "Well, here's the good. The formatting's excellent, but the rest of it needs some work." I'm like,
Needs some tweaking.
we should have called Jessica.
Should have seen the smile on Terry's face that night. Right?
But it's right. But it was, people brought up things about our business we didn't even realize that were either part of a successful business. And yeah, it was difficult to sort of think that way. We needed that third person perspective. It's a great point.
And that's the good thing about me, if I can toot my own horn, is that I'm not just a writer and an editor, but I'm a business owner too. And I've gotten funding for my own businesses. When I started Cursor Communications, I got NOHFC funding for that. When we started Forte Automotive, we got funding for that, right? So I can look at not just the writing and the editing, how well it's written. I can also look at, is this a strong business plan? Does this make sense?
Right.
Like, are the funders going to look at this and poke holes in your marketing plan or your HR plan or whatever, right? So it was kind of that well-rounded
You make it
perspective.
stand out.
Yeah.
So when someone takes, let's say, a business plan to you, or someone looking for funding, the ones that get, let's say, denied, what is a major mistake that some people are doing that you see and can correct? Like right off the hop, what is something that makes it stick out? Yeah. Or
most common mistakes are business owners not paying themselves.
Mhm.
They leave that part out of it. They're like, oh, well, the less money I spend, the better it looks for funders. But the funders are like, that's not realistic. You
Right,
can't run
right.
a business and not pay yourself. Like you're going to burn yourself out.
Even if
where are you
that
going to
is
find
a
the time?
withdrawal
You're gonna go
here or
broke,
there,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So
true.
that's a really common issue. They think they're making their application better, but they're actually making it weaker. And then the marketing plan. A lot of people just like throw like a lump sum into their marketing. I'm just going to spend money on marketing. And it's
Right.
like, okay, but what are you going to market exactly?
Mhm.
Like, what is the
So
message?
you break
What's the
it down.
brand?
Yeah.
What's like, which methods are you going to use? Are you going to rely on, broadcast media? Are you
Mhm.
going to rely on word of mouth, organic? And if so, how are you going to get that word out there? Right? Like they just kind of like, oh, here's a pool of money for marketing.
Mhm.
And it's very vague.
You should tell them all to spend it on KINZ and KLOMP, and that's a winner with the funders, right? Right? You would agree to that one, right?
Yes, I would
Yeah.
agree.
It seems like
Let's
a good,
do that.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
all right, then.
hey, this is how we do. That's how we do
Right,
every single
Community.ca
business deal.
under the table here.
Yeah, but
Oh, sorry. Under the table. I did it
all
wrong.
right, yeah.
I don't have a lot of experience with this, clearly.
But I think this is awesome. See, this is an example of some amazing services in our community available to entrepreneurs, business owners. I know it's just one part of what you do, but it's people who are not used to this type of writing. It could easily stress them out, or they quit, they give up, or they make mistakes.
Maybe
or,
they have a
or
wrong
they just
title.
don't apply for the funding.
Yeah.
That's
And-
what I
yeah.
get the most from clients. The thing that they say to me when they reach out to me is, I've been trying to do this. I've been planning on doing this. I've been trying to do it for X amount of weeks, months, years. And they're like, and it's stressing me out.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it. So I'm going to pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
And they hand the project over because they just realize that there's just not enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
Everybody has their day jobs or their side
Yeah.
projects or their kids or
Yeah.
whatever's going on. And if it's not your area of expertise, it's a very, very large learning curve.
Yeah.
Big learning
That's super
curve.
cool.
Yeah.
I read something the other day, and it was an article that says you'll know your age by the way that you write or type or message. So you tell me whether this is true.
Okay.
It says if you use a capital to start every sentence, you're probably older. This is what the article says.
That's
okay?
what the article says.
I know that
So
that's
I'm ancient,
proper
I'm
grammar.
ancient then? Is that what you're saying?
Well, do you use a capital?
I do.
I'm very old school.
Yeah.
I probably write older than I am.
Right.
I would think so.
Even text messages?
Yeah, even text messages.
They're
I
very
can't
formal.
I can't not put a period at the end of a sentence, but I hear that's cringe now.
Yes.
So
No period. And the second
apparently
part.
periods mean something.
Period. Do not put a period. You don't
It's
need to
passive
put.
aggressive. or
Slow
something
down
like
on the
that.
periods. It said.
Okay.
The other piece is if you put 2 spaces after your period to start your new sentence, that means you're very old, according to this
That-
article.
That is very
That's
old
back from the
school. I don't do
typewriting
that.
days, is it not?
That's bad.
The 2 spaces was in the typewriter days.
Yes, because
Yeah.
when you were on a typewriter, there was these natural
Yeah.
spaces between the letters because of the stamp, right? You needed space to stamp the letter. So there was natural spaces. So you needed the double space to actually see where the proper spaces were. But yeah, on word processors now, you don't need that, right? I don't do that mainly because I know as an editor, when you go to format that final document, what your wife did for you last time,
Yeah.
it's a pain in the butt to have to fix spaces that
Oh,
people
yeah.
put in manually.
I drove her nuts. I was doing
so
that.
I don't
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
but that's just because I know what a pain it is
Yeah.
on the back end for somebody.
So
Yeah.
the third one, and I'm just going to say this is just for messaging, not for formal documentation. Using too much long form makes you sound old. So information,
Instead of
throw
info.
in an info.
Right.
So they say that would show you're from maybe our generation and up.
Yeah, our generation.
Yeah.
I've started using a few short forms
Oh.
that, like a few years ago, I probably would have been like, ew, why? But now I start saying like obvi sometimes
Okay,
instead of
I like that
obvious. I've started using some short forms, but yeah, a few years ago I would have been like, no, I can't. It's not proper.
Adding
Yeah,
meh
yeah,
into sentences.
You did. Okay, well,
There's Dave
hey,
tuning in.
I don't know if this article is right, but it sounds pretty accurate though, because I find like if you message someone, if I message my dad compared to if I message my 14-year-old son, I'm getting 2 different writing styles.
Language evolves.
Yeah.
Language has always evolved. It's a very fascinating thing. I love etymology. I like going back and
Mhm.
looking at the origin of words and where they came from. And language has always evolved. It's never stayed the same. So that's why you see Merriam-Webster add new words to the dictionary every
Mhm.
year. It's not because they're like caving to the youngsters. It's because
Yeah.
language evolves. It
It's
always
evolving,
has. And yeah.
It is true. Where would you put yourself in the cool modern
In the
lingo?
cool, I'm going to say the
or
modern.
traditional?
I'm going to go modern lingo.
Did
You
you ever
think?
watch
Huh?
the television show The 100?
No, I've actually
No,
never seen that.
Okay, well, you should watch the television show The 100.
Yeah.
Terrible ending, but the rest of
Okay.
it's good. And in it, there's it's originally a book, so I assume the language was in the book. But in the book and the show, the language is basically short forms of a lot of words. Like when you're listening to them speaking this other futuristic language,
Yeah.
you can recognize a lot of the words because they're short forms of existing words.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's pretty genius
Yeah,
because that's
it
really
is.
what language
I was trying
is
to figure out
doing.
Klingon that way, but it didn't work. You like that Trekkie joke? I think that's amazing. And you know, writing a book is just, you know, we've had a couple authors on here lately. Jessica West,
Lisa Wilson.
Lisa Wilson, two
Mhm.
of the
Yes,
two
I
of
know
the
Lisa.
many talented folks in the community, and we're just so envious and proud of them because it's not a simple task to do, no matter what you're writing. You know, it takes dedication and there's a process. There's one thing of having the thoughts, but then how to lay the thoughts in something someone's going to be entertained or learn something from. There's a whole process behind it.
Yes, for sure. And that's
Yeah.
the hard part with when you're the writer, you can't always see what is the best thing for
Mhm.
the reader, right? Because in your mind you have this vision and it doesn't always line up with what a reader's going to expect. Like for every genre of book has like conventions of that genre. And if you're not following those conventions, your reader is going to be like, well, now I'm disappointed, right? Because they picked up the book thinking it was this genre and there's certain things that they expect from you. And if you don't follow them, then they're just going to be like, well, I guess I shouldn't have bought that book because I was really looking for this, right?
is,
yeah.
It happens
It makes
a lot.
sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So awesome. You I guess you don't sleep because you're very busy.
Oh, actually, I
Right?
thought of this when I was listening to you guys talk to Robbie G, because you were talking about like all this time and whatnot, and I get asked this all the time because they're like, okay, so you have multiple businesses, you
Yeah.
have 4 children,
Yeah.
you volunteer, you run events, you
Yeah.
like they always say to me, like, how do you find the time?
Right.
And I always say, you don't find time. It's not sitting in your pocket somewhere. You're gonna pull it out of your winter coat next year when you realize you left it in there. It's not like it's not a $20 bill. There's only, like you said, so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
You don't find time. You make time.
You make time.
You make time for the things that are important to you. You make time for the things that you want to accomplish. And if you don't do that, then you're never going to accomplish them. Simple as that.
Yeah, it is true. And if you say if you're a business owner or a very creative person and you're stuck, or if you're overwhelmed or you're stressed out or you need a
Give
third
Jess a
party
call.
perspective,
Yeah.
here's the person to call, Kinsman.
Writingcommunity.ca. Go to
That's
the
right.
website right now. And again, a lot of businesses, you said you've catered to some businesses in the past that have used your services.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you
For
li-
the
are you
last
allowed to
few years, like I
name
said,
drop
I
a few,
pivoted,
or?
and now I'm kind of moving back into the business services now that businesses are open again and starting to be able to earn some money and hopefully can invest back into their marketing plans. But yeah, I've done work for like the Innovation Center at Northern College. I did work for Borealis Fresh Farms, who was just nominated for a Nova this year.
Yeah.
I've done work for the Cochrane DSAB, their employment center. So yeah, I've worked on for a lot of different organizations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome stuff.
And we know, like, as business owners, if we have funding proposals put together, it is time consuming. So,
so we'll definitely be looking for Jess's services when it comes time for that.
And next time you send a text, you send it to Jess first, and she'll let you know whether you're in the cool, or the other generation.
the older generation.
But I'm with the older generation, though, Kinsman. Like, I like the older generation way of writing. So I call that the cool generation.
I still do the 2 spaces.
Okay, now you push the
there we go.
boundaries.
So now-
That's a no for everything.
That's it. Like your son will reply. You send them this nice long-winded message, and you get the one reply K.
The one I don't understand.
That's today's generation.
The one I don't understand is the KK.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the K did it.
right.
Why do you need the extra K?
KK.
Yeah, yeah.
He gives me 2Ks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives me 2Ks.
I always give 2Ks, right? I
And
do
it
that.
says when you're in trouble.
I don't know what it means.
What
Yeah.
does the second K mean?
Uh,
Tell me, Klomp. What does it mean?
It's KINZ and KLOMP. That's my way of
Okay.
saying thank you. I don't
it.
know. I really don't know what that KK means.
Okay.
I don't. But I guess I'm trying to be
Trying to be hip.
young and hip.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wanted to chat about that we might have missed?
Oh man, probably, but
Yeah.
But just reach out if they want to find
Yeah,
you
for sure.
online, writingcommunity.ca. What about your phone number? What can they find
my
you at?
local number 705-262-3268. Easy to find, and I'm easy to find at Forte Automotive like during the day. So even if you just like drop in there and you want to talk about writing
Got
stuff,
an oil change,
Yeah.
drop off a
Yeah.
resume at the same
Why
time. Hey,
not?
can you proofread this, or can you help me?
Multi-purpose.
I'll be back at 4 there. I'll pick up the car, and you've got a manuscript already done for them.
absolutely,
Yeah.
why not?
Wow. So it's like
That's where you find the time. You're
Yeah.
utilizing the time that you have.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like what, like at Forte Automotive, like I answer the phones and I do the invoices and I handle all the parts and I do all the stuff. But if I finish all my tasks for the day, then I just spend some time writing or editing. Like
Why
I'm my
not?
own boss. I can do whatever I want with my
you,
time.
what you want.
You find that's called
The-
finding the time.
The
Making- that's
Jill
called
of
making
all
the time.
trades.
You know how
the
you use
master
a
of all of them.
5-in-1 container in the shower? Jessica's like the 5-in-1 of many talents, maybe
The many
6-in-1, right?
talents.
He goes
Yeah.
here for 6-in-1 things.
Yeah, she's
Sort of like your
a master of all of them.
Well, I gotta ask you another goofy question. So we were trying to figure this out yesterday, because Jess is like a 6-in-1, like all these, probably a 10-in-1, by the way.
10
So,
and 1 when it comes
but
to
we-
writing
blush.
services.
we were trying
And
to
all her
figure out his
services.
5-in-1 cleaning. So we know it's shampoo, it's conditioner, it's body, and it's face. That's only 4. So
And
if you have a
hubcaps
5-in-1
and
cleanser,
dishes.
what would be the 5th thing that Irish Spring would put on the bottle? Shampoo, conditioner,
Yeah.
face, and body. What's the 5th thing on the bottle?
Fit, well, yeah. Hair, maybe?
That's shampoo.
Well, yeah, shampoo.
What would it
feet.
be?
Maybe it has to do with like thinning hair. Or
Well,
something.
Who knows?
Too sensitive. And maybe it's for
Yeah,
me.
we don't talk about thin hair on this show.
Specialized hand lotion.
Oh, specialized hand lotion. Throw that 5-in-1 out. See, Chris is a barber, Kinsman.
Chris says,
By
throw
the
it
way,
out.
you got to go see him.
Yeah.
Number 2, he's telling you right now.
Throw it out.
You want to
Throw it
keep that nice head of hair you have? You throw it out right
Well,
now. He's telling
He's
you.
out of hair. Look at that. It's starting to thin there. I'm starting to
You-
get the clump look.
You don't want that. Trust me.
Yeah,
You don't want
in
that
time.
look. You go see Chris, and he'll hook you up with a nice shampoo. A
All right.
1-in-1.
A 1-in-1.
Yeah.
One, yeah.
Good.
The
This is
1-in-1. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
I mean,
such a
I
pleasure
would-
having you.
as a business
Jess.
owner, we really support what Jess is doing, and it's a huge assistance, and it takes like a stress load, and it gives you that third person look at your business.
Yeah.
Or if it's your resume, building a resume is not an easy thing either, especially if you haven't done one in a while.
Need to apply for
Yeah,
funding. You know,
yeah.
again, Jess can get, as they say,
Well,
put all the ducks
yeah,
in a row.
Well, she knows what works and what doesn't. And if it's your first time, especially applying for a funding or a grant, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
So all those services.
all
Kinsman.
those services. And again, writingcommunity.ca, you can find all her services and maybe join one of the workshops and your writing guilds on Monday nights.
Yes, that's right. The writers group meets virtually right now,
Okay.
7:00 on Monday evenings. So there's a Facebook group. You just look up Timmins Writers, and you can join it. And there's a Northern Ontario writers group that I run as well. It's not like a virtual meetup group, but it's a Facebook group that people can join. And a lot of authors that are self-published from all over Northern Ontario are in that group, and they share ideas with each other. They ask questions about
Yeah.
self-publishing and promote their books, all kinds of things. So
That's super cool.
Awesome,
Like
awesome.
I love that. Creative people sharing their creative ideas.
Yes. And supporting other
Yeah.
creative minds.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Great services.
What business does Jess do?
what business do I do?
I think Sabrina probably joined us a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
later, but maybe.
Well, I don't. Maybe she's asking about the Forte Automotive thing, so I said it kind of fast and
okay.
passing. Or,
Well,
but,
you can, yeah.
but no, I'm a writer and an editor. So I provide writing and editing services to businesses and individuals who are putting together reports, plans, manuscripts, whatever it is that they're working on.
All right.
In a nutshell.
Writingcommunity.ca.
.ca, go
Name
check
of
it
the
out.
business is and the website.
That's the website
Right?
and the
Yes.
name.
At the moment, and like I said, working on a rebrand.
All right. But we know where to get to the webpage.
That's it. Go find it.
Writingcommunity. An
.ca.
awesome logo, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I love your logo.
Yeah, I created that.
Yeah, that's super cool. Like, did you like the logo?
I like the logo.
Yeah, it's really sharp.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining.
Yes, thanks so much,
Ronnie,
Jess.
got any questions about writing?
I'm terrible.
He's
Well, then you
terrible.
go
All right,
see
well, then
Jess
you
to
need
get
her
less
services.
terrible.
Writingcommunity.ca.
That's right.
Is where you go.
Now Ronnie has to close out the show properly, or he's going to need a resume.
That's right.
He's gonna-
Ronnie, are we
he's
getting
gonna have
ready to
to
go,
learn.
buddy?
He's going to have to learn how to do a resume for his next job. All right. Thanks a lot,
All
everyone.
right, we'll see you
Have
guys.
have
Well,
an
tomorrow
amazing
night's our
night there,
best
Kinsman.
of for Friday. And yeah, thanks again to our guest, Jess Trudell, and Robbie G.
And as Kinsman says, look out,
Yeah.
900 feet of snow.
900 feet of snow
Back
tomorrow.
in his
That's
day,
it. Back in my
back in
day,
my
we walked
day.
up the hill
Both ways.
7
Both
miles each
way.
way. Uphill.
All right. Good night.
All right.